the color accuracy in packaging printing. Okay. So in printing industry, we produce for variety of different industries. So we have to try and make sure that our color matches to many of the other industrial products. So we use variety of substrates and variety of processes. Okay. Yeah. All different substrate, different inks, collapsible tubes. Yeah. Different kind of packages, metal, box board. So far we have been doing only visual approval. High risk, light, medium, dark, which is a ridiculous thing actually. So because in printing industry is like musical orchestra. Any single person singing out of tune, you spoil the music. Same thing happens in printing industry. Any person in any department not working correctly, it spoils the final product. So there are misconception that only the software will work. Yeah. We have very casual approach to the process beyond pre-press activity, lack of continuous and persistent efforts to improve production methods, inappropriate equipment and viewing conditions, uncalibrated equipment and material, lack of proper instrument, improper knowledge and work procedure, lack of appreciation by designers for print limitations, progress and limits of the current technologies. So we have to understand how the human being sees. This I will skip, we will not go through it in detail. But viewing conditions are very important. If your viewing light is not correct, customers and you are looking under different light, the color will look different. So you have to have good quality lighting. So we create the color, we measure the color, and we have to do color management. So in packaging we have CMYK plus color, that is maybe 6 color or so, spot colors, special colors, pastel colors, metallic, pearlescent colors. So we need to print some kind of a test form. This is a test form I have designed, I use for my customers. And here we get lot of information from this test form on how to program to make your color profile. Yeah. Because just measuring this chart doesn't help, you need a lot of additional elements. And you have to use some sample pictures which a customer is using in regular production, not something from somewhere else. Yeah, there can be light tone, dark tone, sharpness, special colors, colorful pictures, metallic colors, okay, and so on. Or if he does a lot of skin tone magazine work or other cosmetics, then you have to include lot of skin tones. In packaging you also need to include some special colors for packaging test form. So you have to design your own test form. So spot colors like Procter & Gamble or special color like Cadbury Blue. So in color evaluation we have to measure all the colors of with a spectral value, not just LAB. So we measure the entire spectrum of the color. So if you try to match with that, it will match under any lighting condition. Matching just LAB does not guarantee that. Oops. So make sure color is matched spectrally. Do not trust only LAB values or do not trust only Pantone number, because it doesn't guarantee the right color. We use variety of colorants in printing industry. So if you put all the dyes and pigments together, there are 66 types of reds, 20 types of orange, 50 types of yellow, 10 types of green, 36 types of blue, 21 types violet, 16 browns, 10 black, 10 white. So the inks what you get are combining from this, they are combination of this. So if the combination is not right, your color shade will not be exact. So therefore you must measure it. Then when you print the test form, this is the analysis you have to do it. Printed on production substrate with inks with in-house density or LAB standards. spectral color values of the substrate sendings must be recorded. Some printed sheets coated with aqueous or UV varnish. Some sheets are laminated if you are doing lamination work. All color measurements and profile calculations are done at various stages. So you do it here, do it here, do it here, do it here. So after UV, how your job is going to look like. So for which, without UV, how the value should be, that you should know. Then also you have to do gloss measurements, because the gloss is very important. Two colors having the same LAB can look different because the gloss will be different. So that's what is happening with your UV. Substrate brightness is important, because some substrates are nice and bright, some are not so bright. So you have to do your ink management all right, getting the right color, and also you have to see how it looks after varnish, gloss. So there are some systems which control the press directly. So there are analog tools and digital tools to control. Apple Macintosh is a much better platform to work than PC, because this is very good for color management. You can check the profiles, you can verify, you can repair and so on. Here you cannot do that. You can apply the profile, but you cannot do other work. Monitor calibration is very important. Also surrounding lighting under which you calibrate your monitor. You need to have good softwares. Yeah, not normal PDF. See PDFX. Adobe Suite. CorelDRAW is not good for color management. It's hopeless. Prepress. So you have to adapt customer file in your program. So densitometer, colorimeter, spectrophotometer, these instruments, you must understand your inks, measure them. You should know how to calibrate your meter and what filtration to use. There are American systems, there are European systems, there are two other systems. So if you must set the right thing in your spectrophotometer or colorimeter, because otherwise it gives you different results. Polarization filter, because Americans don't use this, Europeans use this. So your difference between wet and dry inks comes down. Colorimeter measures only at 3 points, and how to set your colorimeter. Oops. How you set your colorimeter, how you see under which light. Some colors may match under one light, but the same will not match under other light. So you have to measure the spectral values and then define your color. These are online inline systems. Measurement geometry. Normal meter will not work for the metallic colors. So if you are using metallic colors, you need a different meter, which is multi-angle or spherical meter as it's called. It has different geometries. Okay. This is multi-angle color So when you do this color management, you measure your printed chart. You also measure your digitally printed chart, and you have to create a device link profile for it to match. But if your proofer does not have UV facility, and if it is possible to coat it separate UV, you can do that. If that is not possible, then you have to tell customer there is a difference in gloss, not the color actually. So gloss will make some color appear brighter. Yeah, this is the same one. Yeah. So different kinds of, if you have to simulate your paper color onto the print, then there is one, see, in your original or the computer monitor, the range of tones is very large. In printing, the range of tone is limited. So you are compressing that range to your printing range. So when you compress it to the printing range, In color management system we call it gamut mapping. So here this is the say boundary, or this is the range of color in your say computer monitor, okay, and this is the range in your printing. So all these colors which are outside will not print the same color. So when you apply perceptual rendering to your profile, all the colors are pushed. This color will come on the border here, and these other colors will fall slightly inside the border. So the difference between each color will be reduced. So this is called gamut compression, perceptual. So with this it works good for photographs. So with this kind of thing you still keep the shadow details which are in the original, because it is not completely on one level, okay. So this is called perceptual. Second thing is colorimetric. In this case all the colors outside, they don't compress and come inside. All this color outside, they just come and stay on the border. That means you lose the details in these stones when these colors come here. This is called colorimetric rendering. So if you do this, your paper color will be stimulated on your digital proof. Yeah, and also this is all right for logo colors, flat colors. So you need to apply this if you want to simulate your paper. Yeah, so this is just showing, if you use, there are different ways of calculating what we call delta E. What is the color difference between the customer sample and your sample? So there are different ways of calculating delta E. Different way in the sense, it's a progression from 76 until 2000. So as per the 2076, the size of the ellipse is bigger, and then as the technology developed further, research happened in 94, see the size of the ellipse is changing. Yeah, so these are the colors showing which are showing differences. CMC, this actually works best in color management, CMC 2:1 equation. So if you have colorimeter, you have this, you can just select that and work on it, and the latest one is 2000. So you need to apply all these rules, and then you have to you have to understand the variation in each process, how the color gets affected in offset, in letterpress, in flexography, in gravure, screen printing, because each process has its own typical special variables which will affect the color ultimately. So you must know those variables, and you have to print a test chart with controlling those variables. Yeah, and when you supply the proof like this, you should put the strip there, so you know what is the color difference numerically between the light, medium, dark, not just looking at the picture. So it's easy for the pressman to control. Other things which you cannot control, but still you need to measure. Gloss affects color. What is the texture of the paper, ink? How is the shape of the box? How you are looking at it will show different color. What is the surrounding? It's kept against black background, white background. What angle you are viewing at it, from what distance you are viewing at it, size, atmospheric haze. So all these are ultimately affect color. So color is much more complex than just measuring LAB. That's why we are still fighting for the same problems what we were fighting 50 years before. Especially in the printing industry, people have not really understood the color, that detail, why it happens, and the designers, they don't care. Yeah, so just concentrate on the center of the circle for 2 minutes. Did you see something? Yeah? Yeah? You could see something, yes or no? Huh? You can see it again. If you want, you can switch off the lights. You can switch off the lights. Concentrate on the center of the circle. Switch off from back. Right? Okay. Did you see some after effects? Yeah. Okay. So this is another thing. There is nothing, but still you see color. Yeah. So this is called after effects or complementary colors. So these many such things happen. There are many magics like this happen when we look at the color images. Therefore, we will always be fighting for the color. And printing industry is the worst in understanding color. Other industries like paint, textile, they are very good. Yeah. Any other question? Discipline. Standardization, plate making, size of press, standardization of the viewing light, inks.
But all these is not practical as like.
No, whatever the best possible. See, the fact that some companies have been able to do it, that means it is possible. Many companies have not been able to do it. So it needs training of the people also. Training, standardization. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Any question?
How do you decide which proofing method should be used for which jobs?
You will have only one proofing system in the house, no? Unless you have. How many proofing systems you have?
3 different.
Which one?
Where the quality of display method also changes.
No, you have 3 digital systems or
Yeah.
which one?
One would be the Indigo machine HP.
Yeah.
One would be the normal Unica. Toner. Yeah. Toner. Yeah. Toner.
What is the name of the? Any idea?
Before that. That's what
Hygiene is coming. Get it outsourced.
We get it outsourced, so you have no control over that. Yeah. So you have to see who is giving you good service.
Yeah.
What digital system do you have? You don't have any.
Outsourced.
So you have no control over it. So you don't know what that fellow is doing there.
Just go for by the best. I mean, HP, Indigo, or
Yeah, machine is good, but good machine also needs the maintenance. Good machine also needs the control. Yeah. So if you have your own in-house system, then it's easier to control, because then you will do regular calibration, you will check the toner, you will check the alignment of the heads, everything will happen. With the outsource, it may happen, it may not happen. Yeah. You send the job with your profile or he uses his profile.
nowadays nobody has so much of time. So designers sends the design, we take a digital proof on the HP Indigo, it looks fine, go ahead and print it with the customer.
Yeah.
And with the time doing that much is easy. Tomorrow something wrong goes, then we go to that.
Yeah. How many times does it go wrong?
Hardly actually. HP Indigo is very good.
No, machine is good. Yeah. Machine is good. So if you are with a good supplier, then it's no problem. Yeah. The supplier has to be good. And for color management, what are the fundamentals you need to check and look at? color management and standardization. So printing process is like a big jigsaw puzzle, yeah. Each department has to work closely with another department. Then only you get good picture. All these technologies are involved in printing. So right from color vision, human eye, art and design, to ink, plastics, mathematics, a lot of things are involved. You want 5 minutes break, then we come back? Because I think some are already outside. You want 5 minutes break, then come back? Yeah? Okay. So printing involves a lot of these things because our machines are mechanical, it uses hydraulics, pneumatics and so. Okay. Then the photo technology, electronics communications, chemistry. So we have this we already saw earlier. So there are a lot of variables in the printing process, and the main thing is people are variable, so you need to get them properly trained. So you have to understand the color. People involved in color must have normal color vision. Okay, so color is created using from the artist's original photographer. We use some softwares, we use computers, and we create color for the printing purposes. Analog versus digital tools. I said earlier, Apple Macintosh is a better platform. We need to calibrate monitors. Okay. Customer file proofed in-house. When customer sends you a file, if he sends you a proof or not, you have to prove that whatever digital printer you have, to make sure that everything is there, whatever he wants. Yeah. Because, and if you have good quality digital proofer, then it becomes a standard for your printing. Because your proofer will be calibrated to your printing machine. Customer's proof may not be calibrated to your machine. So, if you have your own digital proofer which is calibrated to your machine, then every file which is coming you must proof in-house to make sure that whether the job is to your printing standard or not. So, proofing system, fingerprinting using production workflow, calibration of proofing system, strict preventive maintenance, fingerprint all substrates. Okay. Check and measure colors. Measure colors from each batch of toners and substrate. Same with the inks. When you get the inks, when you get the substrate, you must measure it to make sure there is a batch to batch consistency. Then you have to print some kind of a test form which will represent your printing jobs. Okay, and then you have to create the profile for yourself. You have to represent your pictures, and then you must, using that information, you know how to make your plate, what should be the dot on the plate, whatever you have used on the test form. So you have to, your rib calibration must be good, your dot shape, screen angle, everything must be standard. Because you need to control each dot ultimately. Yeah, there are billions and billions of dots. Fine screen, coarse screen, different dot shapes, angles, everything must be standardized. Plate making processes to make sure that the plates are consistent. Printing machine, impression pressure, roller setting, plate dampening, rubber blanket, press speed. Okay, so cylinder packing, everything must be standardized, otherwise your dot gain will change. Dot gain will change, ink transfer will change. So you must make sure that your roller setting, bearer cleanliness, impression setting, roller setting right from duct to the foam roller. damping roller as well as the inking roller. So roller diameters, roller runout, shore hardness, resiliency of the roller, nib contact, everything must be controlled, everything must be known. In that zero setting, especially if you are remote control machine, is very important. When all the keys are 0, there has to be uniform gap from one end to another end. At the same time, your electronic controls on the remote must be 0. Okay? The duct roller must not be damaged. Ink fountain blade must be straight. So, parameters in fountain solution: water pH, water conductivity, dissolved solids, calcium, magnesium, fount concentrate, dampening system, pH, conductivity, temperature, surface tension, ink compatibility. All these factors must be measured and known. Yeah. If you just do ISO without this, it is not meaningful. You have to have all technical standards in place before. If you have chilling system, system cleaner, chilling mechanism, filtration, maintenance must be there. Rubber blanket, thickness, shore hardness, resiliency, no water seepage, press should run at a consistent speed. Register system, if you lose the register, you lose the color. So register system must be perfect. Inks, how much ink you deposit, what is the strength of the ink, color of the ink, pH, temperature, viscosity, tack, what type of ink. So all these parameters must be known batch to batch. How much ink flow, yeah, as the ink flow increases, your dot gain becomes higher and higher. How much ink to deposit, what is the strength of the ink when you buy raw ink from the customer, from supplier, what is the ink purity, viscosity and tack. All these parameters must be recorded. If you don't have facility, you have to get these parameters from ink supplier for each batch. Ink type, whether you are using CMYK, hexachrome, spot coloring, pastel colors, fluorescent, metallic colors. What is the ink sequence, that must be consistent. What are the spot color characteristics, special colors. Okay. Your ink kitchen if you are in packaging, substrate, color, substrate whiteness, brightness, gloss, smoothness, opacity, porosity, pH, surface strength, dimensional stability. All these are important factors. Test form analysis, as I explained before, has to be done. Whether you are using ink optimization now, what they call is, we used to call it GCR earlier. Light under which you are viewing, that makes a difference. So there has to be consistent lighting. Meters, how much density to print, what kind of setting in the meter, polarization filter, what is the dot gain, whether it is consistent or not. When dot gain changes, your tone will change. So that it will also give you what you can print on different ink with different substrate. Yeah, what is the contrast, how the shadows are filling in, how one ink is sitting on the top of another ink. This changes with the sequence and changes with the tack of the ink. So if supplier has given different tack, your two color combination will change. Hue and gray error, colorimeter, yeah, how you set it, what kind of setting you are using. Okay, different lights. So these are all important factors for standardization and color management. Okay, LAB, CIA system, LCH, delta E, this we looked at earlier. Spectrophotometer, which measures the entire spectrum. Then only you are ready for automation if you do basic standardization. Otherwise automation doesn't help. Yeah, this we looked at. This we saw, all this. So, quality, customer satisfaction, you have to have scientific approach, because everybody wants a job in a rush. If you have no standardization, there is always a trial and error. You don't know how it will come. So with standardization, you know what you are going to get in each department. Standardization, teamwork, it gives you quality. Yeah. So quality management system, it's a continuous system. Continuously you have to check your raw material, your print, your final product, which we call planning, doing, checking and act. It's called PDCA cycle in quality management system. So this I explained to you. You have to work in team. You have to have the standardization. You start from the finishing end, and so that your pre-press is done according to your printing and finishing. Yeah, you should not start standardization from the pre-press, because first you must get information from the press, your coating, your lamination, and you standard in the pre-press according to that. So standardization has a great importance. It gives you process parameters. It gives you how much time the job will take, definitely. That's planning and scheduling. It gives you guarantee on the machinery, materials, costing, because there is less wastage. So you have to organize in-house material testing, whatever small way, doesn't have to be a big lab. In-house material testing, internal library, you get a lot of literature, you must keep it for the information of the staff. A lot of information is there. Internal production meeting, very important. You must analyze every week. In-house session by suppliers. So you must keep the whole process under control to get good match from origination to the press within the limitation of the printing system. And it is more important when we have the computer to system, because you don't see anything physically. So when you do that, then only your workflow becomes meaningful. You may buy some workflow or something, nobody can give you perfect workflow. You have to program your own parameters in the workflow. Nobody can tell you what your parameters should be. That comes from your standardization. Yeah. So customer data, job tracking, customer data, okay. You define your own parameters. So that gives you economies of production, because the whole thing is standardized, and then you come as a winner. Yeah. So it's very important to work systematically as a teamwork and standardization. It only needs application of mind. Today somebody who doesn't standardize must be a rich company, because they have a lot of money to waste. There is a lot of wastage. Ink, paper, time, you have to redo the job. Yeah. And then printers are saying we are not getting price. So to get the profit, you reduce your own wastage, so it adds to the profit of the company. Yeah. Any other question? If you have any questions, we can take question now. Or if you want 5 minutes break, we can just have 5 minutes and come back. Because then your workflow becomes, you can use it effectively. If you do without this, your workflow cannot work. No meaning. Any question? No? Where from?
Packaging Private Limited.
Okay. Packaging?
Yeah, packaging and carton boards.
Carton. Okay. Box board. Okay. If you want to know anything else, we can do it. because otherwise it will become too much. Any special problem, any special? Your question answered, no? That, okay. You have to look at all those aspects. Anything else? Respond के लिए? Okay. If they want to say something, they can. If the lecturer wants to talk something. Yeah, I mean, if you have questions, we can talk. We can talk. Otherwise, it's okay.
You can wrap it up.
Yeah, then you can.
Thank you, Kiran sir. It was a good session. If anybody has any doubts, then you can mail to BFPA or Simply, and sir can then take it forward. And I would request representatives from KIPD to hand over a token of appreciation to Kiran sir.
Well, it's not necessary. No.
Thank you, Prayagi sir,
Thank
for
you. Thank
coming
you.
here and sharing a lot of knowledge with us.
Thank you.